Hello, beautiful soul family. Welcome to this reading. When you've clicked on this video, that is when these were meant to find you, these messages. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, hello, everybody. All right, so I did pull some cards to get some notes so I could really get the energy before the reading. All right, so we had the maiden and the river. So those came out together, and then there was also on the bottom, there was the heart and the box. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So the energy that I was receiving for these cards, all right, I did look into the books, and I also just took the interpretation that I received. Use your intuition, of course, whatever you visually pick up. Trust your intuition. We have the maiden. All right, so I'll show you the cards first. This is from the Wild Unknown Tarot. So the maiden that's the pure, the innocent, the princess, the curious. All right. Trying to focus a little bit. All right, so the maiden. Okay, we have that card. The maiden, all right, and the river. So the river is all about the flow. It is the emotions, but also the lessons, the challenges that come rushing in, right? Through the flow of the river can be quite heavy, but it also can hold a lot of clarity, a lot of truth, and it can also be very cleansing, right? It's like if you think of a tear, when you cry, it releases that heaviness, that emotion. And with the river, there's always something to pick up along the way. And you may not really uncover it or receive the messages until you get into the open space of the aftermath of the river. Kind of like when you find yourself in the peaceful pool of water, where you can kind of look back through the river and see all of the currents and all of the tides, the ripples, the waves, and kind of really digest it. The reflection also, what reflects back to you. All right, so the flow of the river rushes through us, teaches a lot of lessons. It's very important to accept what the universe is telling you and showing you. And with the maiden, it's like that curious nature that kind of like stumbles upon the dark forest, is tempted by the poisonous fruit, and is kind of like curious about things that are unknown and tempting, where the river kind of sweeps you away and shows you whether you weren't meant to ride the river and you're just meant to put your foot in. The depth and the intensity will sweep you off your feet and show you the places that you need to go, whether we like it or not, all right? So the river is fluidity, forgiveness, and acceptance. Accepting all lessons. After the tears, a release of fears, a vision becomes clear. So all roads or rivers lead back home. The challenges of life is to grow, to see yourself as we haven't before. Yeah, so it's like that growth, that process, that stepping into a place that you didn't expect to kind of like, that you didn't expect what was to happen next. It's like that curiosity pulls you into life, and then life will take you places. But there is something to learn. To flow with all the good, the bad, and the in-between. Nothing to hide, full of emotion and potential. Nothing to judge. All is reflected back in the currents of life. Accept the change in yourself and others. So this energy will sweep you off your feet, and it is these lessons that will really impact your decisions and your the way you move through life. So these are very important parts. It's like almost like needing to level up. So you're swept into the tides, the waves. All right. So the box, the heart and the box, it's not about the situation at play. Focus not on what is currently happening, but the ripple effect. There is much to learn from each experience. Even the sharpest of truths, even the sharpest turns in truth, even the sharpest turns in truth and roughest patches down the river lead to calmer waters. And it's a deeper understanding, a deeper connection with forgiveness, with yourself. All right. So this represents releasing control, going with the flow, rolling with life through the harsh elements, growth of a vision. And everything, it's where no matter how long you have been away from that home space, the heart space, the place that we all come back to. And look at the boat here. Even if you feel cast away, even if you feel completely isolated, out of luck, and without a paddle, this wasn't an accident. This was a moment to get to know yourself and to bring yourself back to your heart space, that you're never truly alone and you're never truly without. I feel like the paddle is kind of like a metaphor for something. Without a paddle, never truly. You're never truly lost or off your path. I feel like this is the universe directly sending life lessons to experiment and to experience these, to be able to use the tools and skills but also it's almost that moment of being quiet and being patient and sitting with life. I feel like sitting with yourself, reflection, with your own reflection. I feel like it's to protect you, almost like to nest you away from something. This is part of your life lesson. When life throws these curveballs. When life throws these curveballs, I feel like it's almost like giving you a test to practice, to train, to remember your skills, to remember there is no challenge that you cannot face or overcome. I feel like the biggest challenge to face is your own negative thoughts, maybe. This is a reminder that you are the student and the teacher. And it depends the way you look at the box, to see outside the box. There's only so far you can come within the box. And I feel like outside the box, it's almost like training day, like your own training to become this teacher, to learn when faced with challenges. Come back to your heart space, your creativity. And the forgiveness. I feel like forgiveness. To forgive yourself, to forgive in a place I feel like where we tend to forget who we are. There's so many labels. So I feel like this is coming back to your true self, sitting with yourself, sitting with your reflection, and being raw and open with your emotions. And it's to access different parts of yourself, to access and open. And even in the times when it is the roughest and it is chaos and twists and turns, fast moving. The outer world is a fast moving place. It's to remember and be aware that the inner world, your inner world, is far more important and far more powerful. So not to get caught being pulled into the water, but to remind yourself that growth happens in the uncomfortable, and growth happens during challenges, changes, and when confronted with fear. Our outer world can feel like chaos, but these are you acquiring gifts. And it's for growth. It's your self-growth, self-love. All right. I'm going to pull a couple cards. All right. So life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get next. Curiosity has brought you down the rabbit hole. A new phase has brought on a new set of challenges to learn and unlearn, all while walking in a shadowy forest, tasting the poisonous fruits of life. All right. So, reflecting back is your special gifts. It's a vision. And once the challenges, once the chaos has settled, once it's passed, that's when you see yourself as you haven't seen before. So the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential. Nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. Acceptance, reflection, forgiveness. Yeah, all right, so. All right. So the dreamlike vision, I feel like this come back to your vision, and your resting in a resting place. You almost had to go through that whirlwind, going down the rabbit hole to discover many other aspects outside of the box. And it's to awaken your senses. To bring you back. Bring you back to who has always been with you. It's like the purity, reminding you that there's nothing to judge and there's no one judging you as well. It's the reflection is the only one to judge is ourselves. The only one to compete with is ourselves. So I feel like it all comes back. It all comes back to a repetition. It's almost like seeing in the tunnel, seeing through, seeing something completely different. Once completed, it's like going through a pattern over and over and doing the same thing until you look at it from a different point of view. It's a deeper understanding. It's a calling, a connection to stand with yourself, to stand with who you are, and not to miss out in the challenges and the growth that you can be faced. Yeah, Knight of Wands. This is learning how to be wild and really march to your own beat, your own rhythm. The fire, the drive, the passion. And it's like that wild stallion energy. Really lighting up this energy, really energetic, very creative, passionate. And I feel like it's elevating you in ways that's bringing out your creativity, to bring out your potential. And I feel like this is all about self-expression. The curiosity was needed to really push you towards adventure. Standing tall, Page of Wands. This is all about starting an adventure, kicking something off. Really owning that power, owning what those lessons learned. It's like that spiritual growth where nothing can hold you back and you're free from all the questions and the wonders that was weighing you down. And I feel like this is kind of like kicking back. No longer questioning everything, but kind of like taking life as a stride. Setting your own boundaries, your own rules. Not starting fires, but using fire as a tool almost like with the river. I feel like no longer fearing the river, but learning how to use it as your own place, making it a part of your experience, lighting up the riverbanks, making it a positive experience instead of a negative, where it can replenish. There's also many rituals that take place in water, in the river. It's a rebirth. Washes away what's no longer necessary. No longer carrying mistakes and grievances, but using it as a tool, plant a new seed, as an opportunity to move away from the shadowy energy, move away from anything deceptive, and really take it as seeing something in the night, learning how to move in the night. I feel like this is a strategic opportunity to understand and be taught lessons, to grow and transform and carry yourself further down the stream, carried down further than you were planning on going. And it's like you can see past the sight of potential and really be able to understand the real you. Nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. That's beautiful. Let the heart flood with love, and let your soul be peace, full of peace, Let your soul be full of peace. Allow these lessons to really grow you spiritually. And I feel like it's this heaviness that is washed away. Really learning how to dance in the storms. It'll allow you to plant seeds in places that you've never been before.